Hi guys, welcome back. We're going to do a quick ab workout today. So let's start off by lying on our backs. We're going to bring one leg into tabletop, the other leg into tabletop, keeping a right angle shape down your leg here. We're going to bring both arms up towards the ceiling. We're going to start to come into our toe taps here. So keeping this right angle shape down the leg, we're going to lower that toe towards the floor, like we're dipping our toes into water and then coming back up. Then you're going to go over to the other side, lower down, lift it back up. Once you feel comfortable in this movement, we're going to add in some opposite arm lowers as well. So as my left toes come down, my right arm is going to come back, reaching overhead, then draw both the leg and the arm back up to the ceiling, then over to the other side. Now your challenge for this movement is, I want you to maintain a neutral spine as you're continuing doing this movement, meaning that you've got a natural curve down your lower spine here. I want you to maintain shape down for me as you come into this movement. So try not to open the back like so, and making sure we're not imprinting fully on the back. So keeping it nice and controlled, drawing that movement from your core here, even though that we're moving from our arms and our legs. Find that connection with your center. Let's go for 8 here. And 7, 6, 5 more, and 4, last 3, and 2, good, and 1. Back to center here. Let's place both arms down by our side. We're going to flex both feet. We're going to extend both legs out long into a diagonal, draw it back in. It will be easier if you extend up towards the ceiling, harder if you extend it towards the floor. Again, trying to maintain that neutral spine down our backs. That small little gap underneath your lower back, just small enough to fit a blueberry there. Let's go for 6 here. And 5, 4 more, last 3, and 2, good. Hold it out on your next one here, little flutters of the legs. Small tiny movements here, 2 inches up, 2 inches down with both sides. Let's go for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and lower down. Placing both feet onto the mat now, keeping those knees in line with your hip bones, also in line with your ankles here. Let's start to interlace those hands, pop them behind your head. Your thumbs are going to come down the sides of your neck and your elbows are in your peripheral vision. Let's take an inhale here. On your exhale, let's start to curl up our head, neck and shoulders from the mat. Inhale here, exhale. Start to lower yourself down. Let's go again. Inhale, exhale as we curl up. Inhale to hold at the top, exhale to lower down. Good, let's keep this going. Keeping that space between your chin and your chest. Curling up. Trying to lift those shoulder blades off the mat if you can, keeping the lower ribs onto the mat. Drawing those ribs towards your hips here. Once you feel comfortable with this movement, let's add in one leg tabletop here. As you curl up, one leg comes up to tabletop, lower that leg down as you lower the chest down. Going over to the other side. Let's keep that going. Good, let's go for 6. And 5. 4 more. Last 3. And 2. Good, and 1. Holding it up here, we're going to rotate the torso slightly out to the right hand side. We're going to curl up and lower down, adding a rotational slight twist as you roll up, keeping those hips and pelvis heavy into the floor. They stay anchored to you. Let's go for 6 and 5. 4 more. Last 3. And 2. Good, hold it up on your next one here. You're going to reach that left arm onto the outside of the right leg. Extend that leg out long, bend it back in, extend it out, and in. Keep that shoulder lifted for me. Let's go for 6 and 5. Good, 4 more. Last 3 and 2. Good, hold that leg out for me here. Start to pulse the arm. Reach out further for me. 2 inches out further. Let's go for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and lower down. Very good. Let's go straight over to the other side here, curling yourself back up. Left leg comes into tabletop for me. Find that slight rotation, curling up. Let's lower yourself back down. Good, let's keep that going. Find that lift in your obliques as you lift yourself up and over. Keep those hands interlaced. Help that support the head and the neck. Let's go for 6 and 5. 4 more. Last 3 and 2. Good, hold it up on your next one here. Reach the right arm onto the outside of the left leg. Extend that leg out long, bend it back in. Reaching out, bend it in. Let's go for 6. Good, 5, 4, keep that chest lifted. 3 and 2. Hold that leg out on your next one. Reach those fingertips forward 2 inches out and in. Pulsing it here for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and lower down. Very good. Let's come into your roll up here. We're going to take an inhale here. On your exhale, start to curl up your head, neck and shoulders, reaching those arms up towards the ceiling, curling yourself into a seated position. Use momentum if you need to, folding over. Let's cross those legs forward, come onto our hands and knees. Coming into your quadruped now. So keeping those wrists underneath your shoulders, your knees are going to come directly underneath your hip bones. You're going to extend opposite arm, opposite leg out. Close it back in. And reaching over to the other side. Keeping that neck lengthened here. A good tip is to keep your eyesight to the top of your mat here. Now, keeping in mind, I would like your torso to be as steady as possible. So a good analogy to have is that imagine that you've got a wine glass sitting on your tailbone, and we want to keep your torso as steady as possible as we're reaching those arms and legs out. A lot of people will add in a lot of momentum in your lower back like so, but I want you to reduce that momentum. Find that control with your core as you reach those arms and legs out. Let's go for 6 here, and 5, 4 more, last 3, and 2, good, hold it out on your next one here. We're pulsing the arm and the leg here, small tiny movements. Let's go for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, lower down. Let's go straight over to the other side, reaching out. Start to pulse it here for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and lower down. Let's come into a quick child's pose here. Bring those knees out wide to the side, sitting back onto your heels. Reach those arms out long forward. Take a couple of deep breaths here. Good, and coming back up. Now we're going to turn onto the side so that I am facing you here. We're going to place our left foot out to the side. Your right foot is, your right knee stays onto the mat. Your left toes are going to be pointed forward towards you here. We're going to place both hands behind our head here. We're going to sit up nice and tall. We're going to lower down our side towards the right and then lift it back up. Good, let's go again. Lower and lift. Now, this exercise here, I want you to maintain both hip bones facing forward as you are at all times during this movement here. We're just lowering and lifting from those hips, from the waist, as you lift it up and over, and then stacking that spine back on top. Good. Let's go for 6. And 5, 4 more, last 3, good, and 2. You're going to hold it down on your next one, lower it down, lower the right hand down, start to pulse it here, 2 inches up, 2 inches down. Let's go for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We're going to place a hand down for me. Top arm reaches up to the ceiling. You're going to lift that left leg up, lower and lift. Lengthening out those legs for me. Let's go for 8 and 7, 6, 5, 4, 3 and 2 and 1. Very good. Coming back down. Give yourself a little roll of the wrist here. Let's place one hand down. We're going to side bend over one way. Good. Rainbow the arms up and over. Side bend over to the other side. Good. One more time on each side for me. And last one. Very good. Let's go straight over to the other side here. Hands on your hips. We're extending that right leg out. Your toes are pointing towards you. Let's start to place those hands behind your head. Have it act like a little pillow for your head here. Standing up nice and upright. We're going to lower down onto our side. Lift it back up. Good. Let's lower down and lift. Good. Keeping that foot planted into the mat. Making sure that those hip bones are facing forward. Find that awareness that we're going to bring our waist up and over. Lower down. Lift it back up. Let's go for 6. And 5. 4 more. Last 3. And 2. Good. And 1. Lower that left hand down by your side. Let's start to pulse it here. Let's go for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and lower down. Very good. Come bring in your roll of a wrist one more time. I'm going to fold over, extend myself into a child's pose, keeping my knees narrow here. Very good. Coming back up, let's come into a little stretch here. Start to interlace those hands in front of you. Extend your arms out. Bring that chin towards your chest. And then we're going to interlace those hands. Open up the chest forward. Good. And then one more time, side bending over one way. Side bending over the other. Now let's thread that arm through the next one here. Your top arm, you're going to thread that arm through in between. Reach those fingertips back behind you. Good. Open back out. And then we're going to thread the arm over the other side. Finding that rotation through your torso. Open back up and you're all done. Enjoy your day.